Do I feel sorry for him? No, I don't. And that's just the truth. He's been doing this since 1990, over and over and over again. Once he won his 2008 trial, that was almost like a slap in the face for him to continue to still be fucking Sean while the trial was going on. Had her living in a garage. Continued to be with her all those years. Now, America doesn't know that. I know that. Now America knows that based off the documentary. But I'm just saying, it's a slap in the face to continue to do something that you've already been, you know, accused of. And I feel like it's a slap in the face to America. Like, if I've already been accused of something, there is no way in hell that I'm ever going to put myself in the position for you to have R. Kelly and Little or Girl or McDonald's in the same sentence. Period. I'm sorry. And the fact that he just played with his life like that and took that big of a gamble and was just that so, felt like that inevitable to the point where he felt like he was untouchable, then I feel like whatever happens to him, he definitely do deserve it, because he had more than enough time. He had 30 years to change his ways, and he did not. He did not.
So, as you all can see, what stands out in that video right there to me, it seems like you have a woman who has now been brainwashed. They said that that R. Kelly was brainwashing these women, but in actuality, I believe it's the other way around. I believe that the media and, the public and just, the antagonists involved in the situation was influencing these women, brainwashing these women. What stood out to me is she said that he had been doing this for 30 years. Well, that is a narrative that has been pushed in the mainstream media. She clearly seems misinformed. She seems like at this point she was just running with all the narratives that was presented to her. And of course, with R. Kelly not being there to defend himself, as you can see, it wasn't hard, I should say, to flip this woman.
She ain't been on this planet 30 years, okay?
Exactly.
She has not even been on this planet for 30 years, okay?
And
she's all over the place. That girl needs help. Look in her face. She's rambling. She's all over the place.
Yeah.
Just taking whatever narrative that she can remember in a short period of time and being filmed.
Exactly.
By Shabazz.
And then she said that for him to allow his name, R. Kelly, and the word little, girl, or McDonald's to be in the same sentence. I mean, what are they saying here? Are they saying that R. Kelly can't go to McDonald's? Is that what they're saying? It's just really ridiculous, everybody. It's really ridiculous. And then what also stood out to me is she said it was a slap in the face for him to continue to do what he was already accused of doing. And she said by him still sleeping with Rashana, even while during the trial, having her live in the garage during and after the trial was a slap in the face. But how? I don't understand, because Rashana at that point, it's no question that she's a fully grown woman. So I don't understand. How was he doing something that he was already accused of? What they was accusing him of, Azriel, was sleeping with a minor and producing child pornography that he was acquitted of. So what you're saying is it's not making sense at all.
She doesn't know.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
She doesn't know. She's angry right now. She's angry that it's Joycelyn turn to see him.
At that moment, she was angry. Yeah, definitely. And now, yeah, you're right. Yeah. And now.
It's Joycelyn's turn to see him. She's been kicked out of the house. And she's angry.
Yep.
Angry and jealous.
Angry and jealous, exactly. And you can tell that she's just all her mind, like you said, it's scattered. Yes, it's scrambled. It's scrambled eggs all over the place. She just scattered. She can't even see straight. She got her mind on Joycelyn and R. Kelly and
texting on that phone.
Texting on that phone, arguing with Joycelyn. I mean, you could just see all of this.
Joycelyn's in the lobby.
Yeah.
And she's just texting, trying to provoke Joycelyn, just trying to argue.
You can see all of it.
Yeah.
You can see all of it. But let's proceed.
What makes you? Why do you think he?
Because no girl has ever, in the moment of it happening, said no, or I don't want to, or this is not right. Because this is what he'll do. He'll say, oh, I have a girl I want you to meet. You'll be like, okay. And then when you go in there, the girl is already in the bedroom fucking naked. And then you just have no choice but to jump into whatever it is. Because now you're like, okay, I don't want to embarrass him. I don't want to be like, this is not something I want to do. Then he's going to be upset because he came to me and said, look, I have this girl who wants to meet you. You know? So you're almost put in the position where it's like, you can't really stop it. You just can't stop it because he just throws you in that position without even giving you a head warning of what you're about to run into. He just puts you in that position.
What if you say no?
If you say no, he's probably going to curse you out. And then you're probably still going to leave. He's probably still going to get with that person. And then he's probably going to beat you or spank you or chastise you however he can to show you never to embarrass him like that again. And that's what he's done before. Ugh.
So he's probably going to cuss you out if you say no. Now, they have been kicking this narrative as if he is just a dictator controlling these women in and out, through and through. They have no say-so in the matter. But that sounded to me like a choice. That sounded like someone that could make a choice, was in a position to make a choice. Okay? And it also sounded like a situation where there's no force nowhere. She didn't say anything about him forcing you to do anything.
That she needs to quit lying.
Yeah.
She needs to quit lying. He's probably gonna spank you.
Spank you. Really? Really?
Girl, bye.
Right. I mean, they need to get her some help. And you know what? We really, maybe we shouldn't be laughing, but it's a shame how confident she sounded on that Gayle King interview. And she's ended up like
scrambled
this.
Eggs.
Yeah, scrambled all over the place.
Just making up stuff as she go.
I mean, it is just ridiculous, man.
She made all that up.
Just made it up just like that. So he's gonna spank you if you say no.
And she gonna count the number of times you getting hit.
Yeah.
1, 2.
What she said, he'll probably spank you like 4 times.
4.
4 times.
If I leave out this, if I keep a secret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold up. 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, wait a minute. This is all his mic. 15.
Yeah. She says she was probably going to get up to like 20 at one point.
I ain't never heard nobody get no ass whooping. Count.
Oh, man. It is
somebody whooping your ass 15 times with all they might, but you got the time to count.
Yeah, you can just count it out. Oh, my gosh.
Please.
Let's proceed.
So he'll just... He beat on you.
What?
He would just beat on you.
Basically, if you did something wrong, if you came out of this room without knocking, that's a spanking. If you go downstairs...
What's a spanking?
Like he's gonna beat you. Like
a beat you, like a slap you on the ass?
Yeah, like a slap you on the ass, but slap you on the ass 10 times with all of his might until you have whelps on your ass. That's a spanking. And depending on how severe it is, like for getting to walk out, that may be like 3 or 4 spankings. You're gonna cry, but after about 10 minutes, you're gonna be back normal. Like if you look at another man, or if you're at the mall and you know a man helps you and you don't tell him, that's about 10 spankings. Keeping secrets, that's about 15, 20 spankings. Over and over and over and over again. And then you just become like, okay, I'm not going to tell this girl anything because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get a spanking or anything like that. Now, it depends. Like I said, every girl is different. Like me, I allowed that, but after so long, like when I got 19, 20, I started telling him, like, look, this is not something that, you know, I'm comfortable with. We're going to have to, you know, handle, like, when we have conflicts a different way, because it's just not something that I'm comfortable with anymore. We talk about kids, we talk about marriage. That got to stop, one way or the other. Now, other women, they just weren't vocal. They were more insecure about themselves. So yes, she would take real beatings. Like, he would slap her in her face, punch her in her face, hit her with shoes, all kinds of stuff. Like, seriously.
She ain't paying no attention to Shabazz. She's too busy texting, arguing with Joycelyn in the lobby.
Right.
Or Joycelyn's friend.
Yeah, she arguing with somebody, definitely.
Okay.
She's definitely arguing with somebody.
And she's trying to do that. Shabazz is worrying the hell out of her. She ain't trying to answer them, make up no lies.
Yes. That's requiring too much energy.
It's too much time.
too much energy.
Yeah,
she got to focus on them texts.
She got to focus on them texts. She ain't feeling like making up no lies right now.
I mean, she said she was telling how it was a calculated system of spanking.
Yeah.
Certain things could get you 10 spankings, and then it, you know, if you...
So if an old man, 80 years old at the mall...
If you speak to him, will you still get them 20 spankings? I mean, that is just ridiculous.
R. Kelly is just that jealous of you.
Right.
That if an old man opens, 70 years old, that works at the mall, that opens the door for people, or says good night, or good evening, or hello,
right.
You gonna get...
How you do, ma'am? How do you do?
You get 10 spankings.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a calculated system. It's crazy. But then after that, right, then she started saying that she had a conversation with him. Once she turned like 18 or 19, she didn't know which year. She couldn't remember which year it was, what age she was when she decided to start having a conversation with him. Like, you know what, we can't do this no more. We have to come up with a better way to work our problems out or communicate or whatever she was trying to say.
Yeah,
Once again, which goes against the narrative of R. Kelly as a dictator, controlling these women in and out.
I just had to have a talk to him when I, turned 19, 20. If we're talking about having kids, if we're talking about marriage, we have to have, a better way of communicating and working out our problems.
Right. It is just great. I mean, they just go against all the narratives that they put out there. They put out all these narratives, and then they just go right against them, contradicting.
They're going to be the ones that get him acquitted.
Right, exactly. But you know what? Then she started saying, but other women would go for it. But in other words, saying that she wouldn't continue to let him beat her like that, but other women would. And she brought up Dominique Gardner saying that he beat her with a shoe and all this. But notice that's real telling how she didn't say that she got beat by a shoe at that particular moment. But then on the one interview after this,
the Sun interview, right?
Yeah, the Sun interview, exactly, baby girl. The Sun interview. Then she remembers that all of a sudden he beat her with a shoe as well.
Right.
But at that moment with Shabazz, apparently she didn't get beat with a shoe. Dominique was the one that would get beat with shoes.
So the Sun interview, R. Kelly was locked up. So how was he beating you with a shoe locked up?
Man, I'm trying to tell you something. This woman they need to get her some help. Seriously.
All jokes aside, she's sick.
Yeah, she is.
She's sick. And all jokes aside, what they're doing to her is man, you talk about, do they really love her? Or was this all about money? Because the way it looks, in my opinion, it looks like it was all about money.
Yeah.
My daughter would not be parading her body around. She's not doing anything but parading her body around.
Right. She's
not making no music. She's not doing anything but parading her body around. That's her titties and butt. That's it.
Yep.
And doing these interviews is, she needs help.
Yeah.
And her mother and father, need to get her help. You know, they can do a 5150 hold on her, get her 70, where whether she wants to go or not, they will come pick her up and lock her up and do an evaluation on her. I think it's like 72 hours.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, something needs to be done. Something definitely needs to be done.
I mean, they just letting her run rampant.
And you know what, though? She said on that Gayle King interview that her parents was treating her like she was some type of hoe. Those was her exact words. And, you know, people might say, well, maybe she was just saying that out of anger, woo, woo, woo. But all you got to do is just look at what she's doing now. Right. Just look at her behavior now. And it appears like it's what she's doing now. Yeah, it's backing up that statement.
And then her dad wants to get on YouTube or whatever and start arguing with bloggers.
Right.
Who cares what they say, Dad? Why don't you go and find your daughter and go get her some help?
Right. That's what he needs to do. Seriously, they really do. But let's proceed.
When we first started this production, Azriel was still in the corner of R. Kelly. Her attitude was more on the defensive side. She was reluctant to bash Kelly, yet she was willing to question other accusers. So the biggest question to us was, what made her change? What was her breaking point? The final straw to break the camel's back, so to speak. Her reason for coming to Chicago was to film and record several songs for a project her and her father were working on independent from this production. Azriel's sole direction at that time was to get a deal in entertainment. She had just gotten out of a relationship she felt smothered her talent, and with her newfound freedom and independence, the timing was right. Our production team was well aware of what she wished to accomplish and seeing no conflict of interest, but suddenly that changed dramatically. While waiting at the DoubleTree to film our scheduled interview, Azriel suddenly called our production team to change the interview's time. According to her, she was getting her hair done and she was running behind schedule. She stated she needed an additional 45 minutes. To our dismay, we reluctantly agreed and began to wait. Within 30 minutes of her first calling, Azriel called again. But this time, her whereabouts had suddenly changed. She was at Trump Tower and had gone there to pick up some clothes. This was surprising to even us, because news reports had surfaced that said Azriel had moved out. It was also believed that Kelly's apartment had been lost due to insufficient funds. Up until that point, we realized those were lies. We've been duped, just as well as the public.
Now, this is what upsets me, everybody. The producer, Shabazz, asks what made her change, because he was saying how she was adamantly still defending R. Kelly and even bashing, so to speak, the other women that claim R. Kelly was doing this and doing that to them or whatever. But we all know what made her change, and you know what I'm saying? We all know. We know exactly who that was. And it's none other than the federal informant,
Larry McGee.
Larry McGee, who admitted to witness tampering, but not only that,
who's in prison now.
Yeah, who's in prison right now. But not only that, R. Kelly switched the visiting hours. You could tell that eventually somebody was going to get possessive and jealous in this situation, and it just so happened to be her. You can tell that this was jealousy. He's tried to say that she came to Chicago to record. Why would she come to Chicago to record some music?
Right.
Why go to a studio in Chicago with her and her father? Why not record where they're at?
All those studios and all those famous rappers and producers in Miami.
Right. Exactly. So they want us to believe that she went to Chicago to record some music? No. She went to Chicago to provoke Joycelyn Savage. And that's just what it looks like. if you just look at her demeanor,
she was already.
Yeah, she was ready to go. She was ready to go. She couldn't even focus and listen to what Shabazz was saying because she too busy on that phone texting.
Joycelyn sent the other girl upstairs to get his awards, his Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't even want to see her, deal with her.
Yeah.
And she would not let that girl get those Grammys.
No. She wanted Joycelyn to come up there.
Yeah, they had the film, the cameras ready. Okay. It was already planned out what she was going to do. She had already planned to fight Joycelyn.
Yeah. Yeah. And once again, you got the witness tampering from the federal informant, Larry McGee. But then, R. Kelly, he had been in prison at that point. So he wasn't able to defend himself. You know what I'm saying? There's no telling. Money might have been, not available as much at the moment. You know what I'm saying? The man is fighting for his life. Yeah.
And then Joycelyn had a secure place to live and go. But she didn't. She had to go back to her parents.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, she was pissed, honey.
She was scorching. She was scorching. She went to Chicago for some action.
Oh, yeah.
With Joycelyn Savage.
I mean, she had nothing. You see the apartment, the condo was boxes was everywhere. He was moving out.
Yeah.
Joycelyn was already going into her new spot. She had nowhere to go but back home.
To her parents.
Back to normal, day-to-day hustle bustle, check to check living.
Yep. And it resulted in her having to show her body on every picture on social media in order to get a little bit of money. And that is what the parents should be ashamed of themselves for. Because they took her out of a situation where she didn't have to want for nothing. She was happy. Obviously, she was happy with R. Kelly. You can tell by how she was carrying herself at the time with R. Kelly. And now that she's, now you can tell this, man, she's not happy. You can tell that. Yeah. And they took her out of that situation. And she's going to resent them for that if she's not already.
She don't even have 1 million followers.
Right.
I mean, she's basically living check to check herself, showing her body.
Yep. Which is kind of like a form of prostitution. I mean, it's like a shame how they are letting that woman show her body like that. When she has talent, she has other talent. She doesn't have to continue showing her naked body for the world to see. Now, one thing's for certain, when R. Kelly was with her, when R. Kelly was freeing out and she was with him, she was not doing that.
At all.
He didn't have her showing her body on social media.
Or being with men whose friends are calling her bitches.
Exactly.
Oh, she would.
I'm fucking R. Kelly's B. Yeah. I'm with R. Kelly's B, ex-B. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does the parents have to say about that? But they so busy wanting to say how R. Kelly's a monster. But like I said, R. Kelly didn't have her showing her body all over the place. Right. R. Kelly had her having some dignity and respect
and looking
with her
good.
name.
And
looking good. You know what I'm saying? Looking, dressed nice. Had her hair done.
She said, if I'm going to be in some penthouse from state to state, enjoying my weekend, instead of bickering on the phone with you, and I'm going to be enjoying my weekend.
Exactly.
So now what is she doing? She ain't enjoying her weekend.
Ain't.
She's showing her body.
And it's crazy because they're trying to make it seem like R. Kelly was recruiting these women and girls for purposes of sex and all that. But from what it looks like that's what her family got her doing.
Exactly.
But anyways, let's proceed.
Get out and come up because there was a woman downstairs threatening her safety. We immediately got out and headed upstairs. Before we could get to the elevator, we seen a disruptive female questioning where we were going and who we were. Unbeknownst to us at that time, the woman in question was named Kimberly, and we had no knowledge of her role and didn't know her actual position. What we soon found out was she was there on behalf of Joycelyn, and her assumed role was to assist her removing as well as protecting R. Kelly's belongings. By the time we'd gotten upstairs, Kimberly also arrived and proceeded to exchange words with Azriel as well as film us while we were filming.
Girl, these people got me on video. Let me get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, unless they get a say-so from Mr. Kelly. Thank you. Next time, if they do come, if she comes without Joycelyn, she cannot get up.
Joycelyn's with me.
Okay, she's not here presently.
Oh, she is.
No, she's not. If Joycelyn isn't here presently, do not let her up or I will call the police.
And I'm going to call the police on you, too.
Okay, thank you.
And he can report off.
What happened next was all spontaneous and unplanned. All of the events were also captured on cell phones because our professional equipment was set up back at the DoubleTree, waiting to film the scheduled interview that never happened. What you are about to see is all spontaneous and real.
Hi, I'm here with one of the authorized users. She's coming in to take some
You're in the house.
Of the unit. You're not allowed to program or record any of this activity.
In the house?
In the house, yes. We're building security. You're not
Who
allowed.
are you talking to like that?
She's
She can be authorized, but for her protection, and she can come in, but for her protection in this house, we're filming.
Can you not film me, please?
Don't come in.
Sir.
Well, come in. For her protection,
Who are you?
I am a friend of hers, and I'm here for her safety.
Okay, but you shouldn't be recording.
I'm not recording in Trump. I'm recording inside of the house.
Exactly.
Maybe, I don't know. They need to probably call the police. Well, ladies, come and get what you need.
Yeah.
He's recording.
Now let him come in. Let him come take what they want to take.
I can't go on you and take any.
Several minutes had passed, and after discussing what could and could not be filmed, Joycelyn showed up to remove Kelly's personal belongings. To be specific, his Grammys. It was at this point Azriel had the inevitable confrontation. What fueled it was Kimberly and Joycelyn suddenly coming in to remove several items. Be mindful. As far as we all knew, nobody knew about the scheduling, and there was only one way the questioned coincidence could have happened. Someone made Kimberly and Joycelyn aware of Azriel's presence.
Come on, put these Grammys on the thing right now. Put the Grammys on there. I can help you. I don't think you should.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
They don't want them.
Hurry up.
I just wanted to get the Grammys and get all his stuff out of here. Stuff that he has earned. He does not deserve this. It's not right. I wouldn't allow this. Thank you. Can we have some more help in here? I just gotta get the tall. Okay.
Yeah, we're not allowed to.
You're not recording, Kimberly. You gotta record.
Joy.
She's not gonna come inside because she don't want to be recorded her damn self. That's fine. I can get recorded. I'm already a public figure and you are as well. Okay, that's fine. You can be a public figure.
Why y'all arguing instead of just doing what y'all gotta do? Like, this is ridiculous.
One of you guys hold this door. I just want to get She's arguing because she's going to go to jail. No, you know you're a liar. No, I'm not a liar. You are a liar. I never dealt with you at that age, so. Girl, bye. Girl, you were in college. I was still in college when I was like dealing with you. Yes, you were. You were in college at fucking 19. Get her away from me. You kick her out. Same year I met him, and I was 17. This is not your house. This is not your house. That's exactly why he told you to leave when I came. Okay. You're back to being second.
Yeah, both of them does.
Good luck.
We took him off the stage. Resident on saying him off the stage. Yeah,
Both of them, they're both girls.
Hey, tell Rob should have been told you that you're going to jail. Why he didn't tell you? He tell you everything else. Okay, I need help to get these. No, I just need to get these 2 Grammys up here.
Yeah, we can't go in.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get the chair. Can you hold this? Yeah. Actually, fuck all this. Fuck all this. Yeah, I don't want no beef. You know, it is what it is. So I just try to live my life. I'm good. It is what it is, honey. Well, it's what it is. I'll be good. I live my life. And you guys, you're disrespecting his home. I don't know who the hell you guys are. You need to get the fuck out of here. Guys, we are live with Joycelyn. Oh, we are live. We're live.
Okay, so as everybody can see, that that Azriel was clearly trying to provoke Joycelyn. Joycelyn came in there. She was trying to get R. Kelly's belongings, the rest of his awards and stuff. She was trying to make sure that nothing happened to the remaining items of R. Kelly's in his house or whatever. And obviously Azriel, was following around, kind of pressing up on her in her space a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Trying to agitate her, irritate her, you know what I mean? Making claims saying that she's going to jail and that she slept with her when she was a minor, and basically once again running with the narratives that they've been pushing in the media. Again, this woman needs help, man. She clearly is not playing with a full deck. Something's not clicking up there, it's just something wrong, and what really was stood out to me is how she decided to go live. That lets you know right there that she went to that house or to that condo with a motive and with an agenda. You see what I'm saying? She wanted to give a show for social media. That's what it was. She didn't go to Chicago to record no music like Shabazz was saying. She didn't do that. She didn't go there to help Joycelyn like she tried to tell, social media and her father. Does that look like somebody that went to help that person? Does that look like somebody that wanted to help Joycelyn Savage? Come on, I don't even need to wait for no answer, because everybody can see that she provoked her. She went there to be argumentative. She was being argumentative. And that's just a problem, man. It's like, I don't understand why the mainstream media didn't want to point that out as well, I just don't understand that, She has people in this man's home, and Joycelyn clearly says that he would not want that, so she's being disrespectful. And then what also stood out, when Joycelyn said that she was evil, Azriel began to say, I'm not evil, I have to protect myself. Protect yourself from what? What do you need to protect yourself from? That's the question. Why did Shabazz and whoever else he had there, them grown men with cameras, well, cell phones, I guess they said they had their phones with them or something, they left the cameras at the DoubleTree or whatever, but they had their phones and they're standing there recording. Why do they need to be there for Azriel's protection? I just don't understand that, man. I don't. And then Shabazz is sitting there watching that woman trying to reach for those awards, and he just wouldn't help her. I mean, come on, man. He could have helped her get the awards down. It's like, and then he was trying to call shots in that man's house. That's what really gets me, man. How he was trying to call shots with I guess that's security or something, the Trump security, Trump Tower security or management or something, and how he called himself calling the shots in R. Kelly's home, which is just very disrespectful. But what can you say? R. Kelly's been locked up in federal custody. He wasn't there to defend himself. He hasn't been able to speak out. He's been locked up in federal custody with no bond, and unfortunately this happened. I think it happened on his birthday too, which is just even worse. But she clearly went there to provoke that girl. Let's move on, okay? Now at this point, you can tell that Azriel's emotions is all over the place. She's she's completely lost control of her emotions at the moment. At that particular moment, it actually seems a little manic, a little bit. But you can tell that, you know, something must have happened. I don't know what she may have done, or maybe she didn't do anything for R. Kelly to, you know, go his separate ways with her. I don't know, or maybe she chose to go. Larry McGee, he did a lot of influence, a lot of influencing, I should say, and I think that I think she probably already realizes that she made the wrong move, but if she doesn't, she will eventually. But she clearly was the aggressor, if you ask me. Joycelyn tried to take the phone out of her hand because once again she started going live for social media and the world to see, filming Joycelyn on live. That is a violation of Joycelyn's privacy. And on top of that, Joycelyn tried to get the phone out of her hand, and Azriel, obviously they started fighting or whatever. But when they got in the hallway, you can clearly see that Azriel ran back up on her. Twice even. She kept running back up on her, wanting to continue fighting. And if the world can't see that, then I don't understand what. Maybe it's something that I'm not seeing, but it clearly looks to me like Azriel was the aggressor. She went there to start a fight and confrontation with Joycelyn Savage, while Joycelyn Savage was just trying to get the rest of R. Kelly's belongings safely and securely out of the condo. You know what I'm saying? But it's just terrible that this had to happen, everybody. It really is, man. It's a bad look, but at the end of the day, I think it will also help in the long run. I think it would also help in the long run because this was clearly planned, and I think that Azriel, not only was her emotions all over the place, and that's why she wanted to go there and start this confrontation with Joycelyn, but I believe there was other voices in her ear that got her to go there and do this. I really do, and I think it will all come out eventually, and we'll see. Let's get ready and wrap this up. Let's proceed.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this is her number. Kimberly, she never touched me, but she was definitely aiding, like in a writing, so I will want to press charges. If it's possible. Joy's number is 773. And Kimberly's number is...
What's Kimberly's name?
I just know that her first name is Kimberly, that's it. And her number is 773.
You sure you don't need an ambulance or anything?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah. Just to get this checked out.
You want one to come? Want one to come? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 06778.
Her number is 773.
Yeah.
251.
Anything saved on your computer, or is it okay to switch it over?
What did you say she hit you with?
Her phone. So when she hit
Like
me,
a cell phone?
yeah, her phone. She just hit it like that, and that's what caused this.
Her call?
Do you want to go to the hospital with us? We have to be able to get like a federal aid.
That I don't know. That I don't know. Okay. You're gonna have to talk to CPD for that.
Now, obviously at this point, the emotions, as everyone can see, the emotions is kicking in. Actually, you know what it is? Reality is starting to kick in, everybody. The realities had started to kick in at that moment. And that's what the tears was about. And, it's kind of like that final goodbye. You know what I mean? I think that started to circulate throughout her brain. Like, this is really it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really not going to be here no more. I'm really, losing R. Kelly, so to speak. And she clearly went from being the aggressor, provoking Joycelyn. Unfortunately, a lot of people would say that she actually won that, fight or whatever. So how is it that she ends up the one going to the hospital and pressing charges on Joycelyn? That's what I don't understand. My question is with that is, what's the difference between that and Jussie Smollett, what he allegedly did? How they said he wasted all the police investigation time and he wasted a lot of their budget and all this and all that. Well, is that not putting in a false claim? Because she clearly wasn't hurt, okay? Physically, however. We heard her yelling to Joycelyn, I know how to fight. I know how to fight. Learn how to fight. You just don't know how to fight. So how is it that she ends up being the one going to the hospital? That's what I don't understand. That seems like exactly what Jussie Smollett, they say he did. She put in a false claim. That's a false claim. But, it is what it is. I know that me and my wife was joking, in the beginning of the video, but all jokes aside, once again, I'm going to say this one more time. Unfortunately, right, you have a woman, Azriel Clary, who her parents say, and even she said out her mouth that she tried to commit suicide on the Gayle King interview. But, they say that she tried to commit suicide. The reality is they made the wrong move after that. They should have put her in the hospital. They should have got her some help. Instead, they took her to a concert that had R. Kelly playing, at the concert. And that was just the wrong move, man. They put her in the care of R. Kelly. Well, Valerie Payton, they say they gave her to her or whatever. But anyhow, nonetheless, she ends up with R. Kelly. Now, a fragile mind like that and an unstable mind like that tried to commit suicide, for her parents to basically dump her off with a stranger, and in turn, and at the end of the day, she ends up with R. Kelly for 4 or 5 years. I don't understand why her parents is not showing R. Kelly more respect for taking her in with all that baggage mentally, and she seemed like she was doing pretty damn good when she was with R. Kelly. He deserves more respect than what the Clarys have given him or has gave him. But she definitely needs to get help. She is not thinking clearly, and it's showing with how she's moving and shaking today. She claims that she's a victim, but yet she is parading her body around for the world to see. And her parents need to listen, man. Why wouldn't you want your daughter to have some self-respect and self-dignity about herself? Because from what I'm seeing, I'm not seeing a person that possesses that. And it's real unfortunate that R. Kelly has to be sitting in federal custody for 2 years while this woman who adamantly defended this man gets in contact with Larry McGee, who is now in prison his goddamn self, a federal informant, a snitch. It is what it is. And we ain't got time to sugarcoat nothing. It is what it is. And now she's became a federal informant. Now, people might say that R. Kelly is wrong because if he wasn't, he would send Joycelyn home. But they're failing to stop and ask themselves, maybe Joycelyn doesn't want to go home. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like at this point, it's not about R. Kelly has done a crime. It's more about people just don't approve of who he chooses to date, and who and approve of who that person chooses to date. Being Joycelyn Savage is who I'm referring to. It's not a crime. It's not a crime for them to, for an older man to be with a younger woman, or a younger woman to be with an older man, or an older woman to be with a younger man. It's not a crime as long as they are both adults. Then it is perfectly fine. We don't have the right to judge, people's relationships, man. We don't have that right. Because there's plenty of people that might not approve of our relationships that we may be in. Azriel Clary has made a mistake. And I do believe if she would have just remained loyal, her career would be moving in a better direction at the end of the day. All she had to do was just wait until this situation, R. Kelly, got out this situation. I'm pretty sure her career would have been moving forward. It is nothing more important in life than loyalty. You can't have no relationship, whether it's a business relationship, whether it's a love relationship, whatever. You cannot have that without loyalty and trust. And the world has seen this woman violate that code. Now, you're going to have people that still, support her. Of course. There's always going to be some that will. But what I'm trying to figure out is what moguls in the industry that she's trying to get in is going to trust this woman. Who's going to trust her? When they're looking at R. Kelly and they're seeing him, that he had to sit in prison for 2 years and counting, by the way. And they see that she went from supporting him to turning on him. Now she's saying he's beating her. And I'm starting to feel like that she's being sacrificed for her parents' own selfish reasons. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I'm sure I'm not the only one that can see it. And all I'm saying is, we all gonna have to pay for our actions one day. And that woman went to that Trump Tower to start an altercation with Joycelyn. She went to that Trump Tower, man, to start an altercation, not to help Joycelyn Savage. But at the end of the day, she needs some help, yeah. On a serious note, y'all need to get that woman some help. And on that note, free R. Kelly, everybody. God bless y'all. Peace.